talk to us a bit about, I guess, networking again. What's your topic today?
It is networking, and I know I'm beating a drum for networking, but it's something that I think is really booming, and Frank's finding it out, and so I think it's important. What I want to talk about today is Plan B. Now, I think there's a birth control thing or an the pill you can take the next day called Plan B, but this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about is what happens if you lose your job. In today's uncertain and economic environment, more families are looking to develop a Plan B. And I think that's one of the major reasons why the network marketing, MLM industry is booming. And this is why I think it's particularly attractive to stay-at-home moms or households where both spouses are working. I think they're realizing that, what happens if I lose my job? My paycheck goes. So that's why, you hear the phrase a lot, Plan B. What's your Plan B? And I just want to talk about some of the reasons why I think you should be looking at it, and why you should be looking at the network marketing industry. And I'll go over just a few of the reasons. One, it's available to anybody of all ages, from 18 to 80. I'm pushing 80 in a few years, and I'm doing it. So it's available to all ages, and it's something that you can use. I mentioned last week, get in with very low investment, and it's something that can be done on a part-time basis. That's why the flexible working hours, I think, are very beneficial to stay-at-home moms or again, families where both spouses are working. You don't have to. You can work at it whenever you want to work at it. This allows you to do some of the other things that you have responsibilities you have as a parent. So I think the flexible working hours are really good. And along with that comes the maximizing communication technologies. You got a smartphone, you got faxes, the computer, the internet, and all these things that are at your fingertips that 25 years ago weren't there. So I think with the use of technology, you can, in an hour a day, accomplish what it used to take 8 hours a day. And I think that's another reason why I think it's the boom of network marketing is taking off because of technology. It's something that is just really enhanced the ability of a mother or a father or whatever to do it. And I think that the most important part of it is, and I'm focusing on families with this part, because as I talk to people, I've got a few people that I'm talking to now that geez, I don't know if I have the time. I got this responsibility, I got all this, going on. And so, Peter and I were talking, and he actually gave me the idea to maybe talk a little about it today, is how do you get the message across that time isn't the issue? Time is not the issue for starting a home-based business. I represent Legal Shield, as everyone who listens to the podcast know. But in any one of there's some, the Mary Kays of the world and the nutritional companies of the world. There's a lot of opportunity out there. So what I'm trying to get across to the people I'm talking with, and on this podcast, that time is not the reason why you should not do this. Okay, there's other reasons. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you don't want to. There's a lot, but don't use time as an excuse. And that's why I get into the all in the family approach. This could you start a home-based business. You got if you're by yourself, if you're married, if you have 10 kids, the whole family can get involved in it. And I think it's just some of the highlights or bullet points I've come up with as the family approaches is the common goals of running a business from your home, pulls the family together. Everybody buys into it. You can utilize individual and collective family skills. You may have, a daughter that's, a great communicator, and then you may have a tech geek, can do all the computer stuff for you. So you can use it. You're still working at a job. Family members can work during your regular hours, and do these things on as they have time. it could be a better solution to working spouses. Why not work as a team at home? If you get along well with your spouse, work as a team and do it. My wife and I work the business. She does, I'm not the greatest speller. I'm not the greatest when it comes to, forming sentences and putting them on paper and all. And she does all that for me after I've gone through. She checks it, does it all over. And, she does a lot of things for me that help me with my business. The kids, and I think this is really a great benefit. If you have children and they see you as an entrepreneur starting their business, that is going to be ingrained in their moral fabrics. And, why can't I do my own business? You can build a business and leave it to them. I think the benefits of working from home as a positive influence on your children is tremendous. Most businesses are set up with pre-established rules and websites and all those things, so you don't have to go through all that. Both spouses can exercise individual business capabilities. You're both working. You come home one night, maybe your husband does, or you do it. So it's something you can do around your schedules. And when all us fellows, including your job, a family working together is the best survival unit. So I think that to me is a whole core. As we talk about starting a home-based business and you have a family, the whole core is you pull a family together, you work towards a common goal. You're teaching your children business. You're teaching them entrepreneurship. They're seeing what it can do for you as a family. I think it brings everybody closer together. And it gives you the plan B, because the beauty part of network marketing is if you do it right and you do it well, you're going to get, you're going to get income every day. Overnight, your bank account will have more money in it. And you get passive income, you get residual income. If you have a job, we all had jobs in our life, and the day we didn't have that job is the day that money stopped coming in. You stopped getting paid. And I think the lesson for the family is, you can't depend on what's going on. I just saw a bunch more layoffs are going on in the country. The unemployment rate ticked up a notch and also. So I think you can take some of the tension and all out of your life by starting a home-based business and working with it as a family unit and making it a fun project. And the last thing I talk about, which I won't get into, but I personally know, the deductions of home-based businesses on your taxes is immense. You have a tremendous amount of flexibility under today's laws illegally, well, breaking any laws, to write off a great deal of what you do in your home against your taxes. So, I would advise you to consult with a tax attorney or accountant rather, and see what they are and keep good records, because you don't want, if you get audited, you want to be able to prove, you're accurate. But these are legal, legitimate deductions that are very, very generous to the home-based business. And I think, I just, in talk with Peter, I just wanted to talk a little bit about it and talk about, again, time is not the reason for not doing this. I just want people to understand that you have the time. There are other reasons why you don't do it. Be honest with yourself and say, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I don't, all those other things. But don't tell me you don't have the time, because everyone has the time to start a business and be very successful at home. That's it.
Okay. I want to comment on a couple of things there. The write-offs you mentioned are in fact immense and completely legal. You can write off your computer. You can write off a portion of your mortgage where you set up your computer, your little office. Any paper and ink and gas and food, even chamber fees, all the business chamber fees. All of that stuff is a write-off to help you make money and pay taxes. That's what they want you to do.
That's right.
They want you to be successful, so you got to pay those taxes. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that H&R Block would help you, but certainly a good CPA, and I have one if anybody needs one, certainly works in that direction. I mean, to even include in some cases in the martial arts businesses, we can write off club memberships for, exercise, stuff like that. Keep you fit, vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy what you can write off.
Yeah, with me, my monthly Legal Shield membership is deductible as part of the business. If I fly back to Connecticut and I conduct business back there, a portion of that trip it can be written off, and it's all legal. That's the thing. You stress it, and I want to stress it. This is not an illegal thing. It's all under the rules of the tax laws.
That currently, anyway, in case one or people get in and go to a flat tax and fire the IRS. But currently, all of that is completely legal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something people do. Part of your cell phone, or get a cell phone specifically for your business. And if you go ahead and join Legal Shield, even your Legal Shield fees are all tax deductible.
Yeah.
So where else could you buy a business, right, in a box, so to speak, and be able to write even that off?
Right. Absolutely.
So why wouldn't you do it? I don't know. I mean, either you can pay it or have Uncle Sam pay it, so have Uncle Sam pay for it.
Sure.
You betcha.
Yeah.
So now, would you mind telling us about your surfboard talk at the meetup or the meeting the other day?
I was at a luncheon the other day, and they have it's a unique format. There's about 50, 60 people there, and they go around to the table, and you get a chance to do your 27-second elevator pitch. But at each table, they have a timer, 3-minute egg timer. And each person at the table has 3 minutes to talk to the table about their business. It's the second time I've been there. The first time, the group I was with was kind of scattered, didn't pay much attention. This table was, everybody, got their 3 minutes to talk. But, I have my surfboards, which I use as business cards. And I decided to give my 3 minutes around my surfboard, so I handed them out. And I said, this is my business cards. I'm not giving them to you to keep. I need them as part of my presentation. When it's done, you can all give them back to me. And I talked for my 3 minutes and I think there were 7 people at the table. And I got 3 cards back. 2 were already Legal Shield members, and 1 wasn't interested. But out of that, 4 people said they want to keep the card. 2 said they want me to call them. And there was this kind of a different approach. I just took the approach that, you can look at them, but you can't have them. And that seemed to work. So,
what do you think of that, Frank? That's the old.
Love it. Man, all of a sudden, love it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it stopped becoming junk mail. You thought it was valuable enough that you wanted it back, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So at the mixer last night, Peter asked me to try it at the mixer. So I only talked to a couple new people, and I was talking to this one guy, and he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm associated with Legal Shield." And he said, "No, what's that?" And so I took the card out, and I went over the back, and I had it in one hand, he had it in his hand, and I went over, these are the things that Legal Shield covers and all this stuff, and talked to him for a little bit. He took the card back and started putting it in the thing I carried, and he said, "Well, can I have that card?" Like, yeah. So,
can you show it to the people? I mean, do you have one nearby?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand why we call it a surfboard, I would imagine.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. But Frank, that's an ultimate play, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is the takeaway.
A whole new start is perception of value.
That's right. If you don't think it's valuable, why should I?
That's right.
Right. So
I just loved what Dick stumbled into, and and then I wanted him to try it one-on-one, to see that it wasn't a one-up,
Right.
Welcome back there, Dick. Okay.
All right.
And talk for us, Dick, so the focus.
Okay. The front of it has asks you a few questions like, have you ever signed a contract? Have you ever felt you've been in a position we needed legal representation? And it has a CD which has information on the membership program, and if you want to start your own business. The back covers the things that a checklist that compares Legal Shield with LegalZoom and attorneys, and all the things, different things you might need an attorney for. In the bottom, I don't know if you can see it or not, shows you how much you would pay for it, and for Legal Shield, it's compared to LegalZoom, it's compared to an attorney, and has a QR code on it. So
yeah,
so
that's a surfboard, and
yeah.
And, it's so clever that you did that for a talking point,
Yeah.
and you hold it up, and then that check off the back is a very powerful tool.
Yeah, it is.
I learned about that. I think it was 2004 when I saw something close to that. And for those that are listening, if you have a company, you list all the things that you do, and then go compare that to your competitors, and you'll see that they don't do everything you do. So all the check marks line up in your column. Yeah.
Well, what got me thinking about it to try to do more with the card rather than hand it out was when I was with Marshall Industries. We had our business cards, and we had our mission statement on the back of the business card. And I would give a half-hour presentation just off my business card. Mm-hmm. And it was nowhere near what this is. And I would go over each segment of the mission statement and what that meant to the person I was talking to. And it would be a good half hour. I could talk with just a little small business card. So I got to thinking, I got all this information sitting in my thing that I carried around with, and why not use that as a tool? So I tried it, and I'm going to use it some more that way. So
interesting. Frank, you want to weigh in on that?
No, again, anything that makes you different than the other 12 guys they talked to that evening, makes you stand out. And and I love I'd like those back. I love that point at the table. Why do you want it back? Well,
and I told Dick,
why do you want to keep it?
There
you go.
There
you go. Love it.
I told Dick yesterday that to make sure if you're going to do that they see you have more. You don't want it back. They may think that's you have, which isn't the value statement you're trying to make.
No.
Right.
No.
That was important. And I was talking with Dick yesterday. I said, do you know why traffic tickets hurt us so bad? And basically it hurts us because we already have the money, and now we got to pay it to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to an interesting business lesson this way was, some people know I'm a martial artist, and I can do disastrous things to your body in short lengths of time. So if there was a ring, and I told you can get in the ring, if you can stay 1 minute in the ring with me, I'll give you $10,000. Well, as soon as bones start breaking or whatever, right, person will rationalize, he's not going to give me it's not worth it, and he stops, okay? Versus if I give you the 10 grand, and I say, all they have to do to keep that 10 grand is stay alive in that ring for 1 minute with me. And they will run around. Of course, I can't run, so they'll figure that out. And they'll keep that $10,000, and that's an important lesson. Things that you've already got in your hands, you've earned it, so to speak. You don't want to give it up, and the perceived value of his item is huge, They don't want to give that up. I want this. So I think it's great approach.
Well, it is. I was talking to a lady last night, and you guys remember Bruce Stever? He was sitting there with her, and I'd gotten up and gave her my seat because she was eating and I wasn't, so I was being a gentleman. And after a while, we talk about.
Say again, Dick. You did what? This is unheard of in this world. What you do, Dick?
I got up and gave a lady my seat because I'm a gentleman, but most feminists nowadays would ridicule me for it and say I was being sexist by doing it. But
you sexist bastard, you.
But anyways, we're talking, and we got around to that. So I gave her my card, and Bruce said, "That's the best business card in the Coachella Valley." And I've heard so many comments about it. Even the night before, somebody commented on it. I was at another event. I just was thinking, this has got to be other than myself, selling obviously myself and making people want to talk with me and all, this has got to be a tool that I use more in the process of explaining Legal Shield. So that's why I started using it more.
The interesting mind shift there,
Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because you are the only one in Coachella Valley using this surfboard approach. Have you seen anybody else do that?
No.
No, I started that this approach in 2004, and with my CD-ROM, my business card, and adding it onto a surfboard, and it makes a big difference. It is different, and it's newsworthy. People talk about it. They show it to their friends. What more could you ever want out of a business card?
Right. Absolutely.
Other than a call.
Yeah. Business.
Yeah, business. Yes, but that was awesome.
Yeah.